Today, we're going to break down one of the most important contrasts in survival and off-grid living: beginner versus expert survival. What actually separates them, how they approach the same situation differently, and why the gap is much bigger than just experience. From the outside, survival can look simple. Build a shelter, find water, make fire, get food. But the way a beginner and an expert handle those exact same tasks is completely different, and that difference shows up immediately. Both are placed into the same environment with the same goal: maintain stability, meet basic needs, and avoid costly mistakes. But within the first few hours, their approaches already start to separate. A beginner usually reacts to the situation. They look around and start doing something, gathering materials, attempting to build, trying to solve problems as they appear. The focus is on action. Doing something feels like progress, even if that action isn't efficient or well thought out. An expert does almost the opposite. They slow down first. They observe. They assess the environment, resources, risks, and conditions. Instead of reacting, they build a plan. They understand that the first decisions often determine how difficult everything becomes later. The first major difference appears in prioritization. A beginner might focus on what feels important, like building a shelter immediately, but they often underestimate timing and order. They might spend too much energy on one task while neglecting another that becomes critical. An expert focuses on sequence: water access, shelter positioning, fire potential, energy conservation. Everything is ordered to reduce future effort. Then comes energy management. A beginner tends to overuse energy early, moving quickly to accomplish as much as possible. But survival is continuous. When energy drops, everything becomes harder. Tasks take longer, decisions become less clear, and mistakes more likely. An expert treats energy as a resource. They move efficiently, avoid unnecessary effort, and only do what needs to be done. Shelter is another area of difference. A beginner might build something quickly, a structure that looks okay but fails in wind or rain. An expert focuses on placement and design first. Where is the wind coming from? How will water flow if it rains? Water is handled very differently too. A beginner might find a source and assume that's enough, ignoring safety or long-term access. An expert evaluates the source immediately. Is it reliable? Is it safe? They think beyond the moment and build a system. Fire is where experience shows clearly. A beginner might struggle, especially in difficult conditions, failing to prepare materials properly. An expert prepares before they even attempt ignition. Fire is not a gamble, it's a controlled process. Food is another major difference. A beginner often prioritizes food early, spending energy trying to catch something without stable systems. An expert understands that short-term survival is less about food and more about water, shelter, and energy conservation. Then there's problem solving. A beginner sees problems as obstacles, creating stress. An expert sees problems as part of the process. This leads to adaptability. A beginner sticks to one idea even if it's not working. An expert constantly adjusts based on feedback. As time goes on, these differences compound. The beginner becomes more tired, more reactive, and more likely to make mistakes. The expert, on the other hand, becomes more stable. Their systems require less effort because they were built correctly. The difference between a beginner and an expert is not strength, not speed, and not even tools. It's thinking. An expert thinks in systems and sequences and efficiency. Survival is not about doing more, it's about doing the right things. Every expert was once a beginner. Experience turns reaction into planning, effort into efficiency, and uncertainty into decision-making. Survival is about how you approach the situation. The same environment can feel overwhelming to a beginner and manageable to an expert. Knowledge and experience matter. When things go wrong, you don't rise to the situation. You fall back on how you think. For more deep breakdowns about survival and off-grid systems, make sure to subscribe to Off Grid Life Tech for more videos.